Hey everybody, it's the OMAD Dad. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, a channel that's dedicated to living the OMAD lifestyle or eating just one meal a day. To all of my American viewers out there, I wish you a very happy and safe 4th of July, Independence Day. And so if it's the 4th of July, then that means that our June 2020 OPAD challenge is over with. That is, go check my videos out on that. We had a month-long challenge where for our OMAD every day, we didn't cheat, we didn't bother weighing ourselves, and we stuck to eating one average-sized dinner plate of food a day. This is a technique that I like to employ when I'm in a cutting phase, when I lost my weight, my initial weight. That's what I used. I used the OPAD variation, and it worked very fast, very quickly. So I hope you guys had a really great challenge. I hope it was successful for you. I took a few pounds off, so I'm going to continue it this month as well. I'm going to do my best with it for today. I'm about to go to a barbecue as soon as my son wakes up from his nap, but you know, for the rest of the month, I'm committing to another month of the OPAD variation. Usually for the summer, I like to slim down and get to the low end of my weight range, just because I feel it makes me more comfortable. With it being so hot outside, and the humidity, and it's just been a particularly hot summer up here in Massachusetts. I find that being a little bit on the thinner side helps me out. And likewise, I try to go into the higher end of my weight range during the winter, because I've learned the hard way from experimenting that doing extended fasting or trying to be too thin during the winter for me doesn't work, because I get cold really, really quickly. But all in all, it was a fun challenge. I like doing these. I'll try and do some more of these. It seemed like we had quite a few people on board. Feel free to send me your results either through comments on this video below or through my email, which is located in the description box. But I want to move on today, and I want to do another viewer question, and this is a really good one, and this comes from someone named 300 Bags. Technically a two-part question. He writes, what do you do to stop yourself from overeating? I would have my meal and then want to eat my rice cakes, digestive biscuits, and protein cake. They're all low calorie, but I binge on them to feel full. Is it that I'm eating too many carbs? P.S. Please drop your cookie recipe. Well, I'll take your second point first. I am going to drop the cookie recipe because I am going to be doing a video about it's probably going to be a couple-part series on making your own junk food, what kind of junk food or dessert treats that I make, how I incorporate that into my meal, and how I make that work. So those videos will be coming soon, and I will give you my chocolate chip cookie recipe. And I know a lot of you guys have been asking for my bread recipe as well, and I'm going to get that video out for you too. It's a little tricky for me. I don't have any sort of real professional tripods or recording equipment or anything like that. I probably will start investing in them at some point, but I'm more of an amateur with this. That's why I just kind of click the video on and just roll with it. So have some patience, and it really will be coming. But yeah, I will give you the cookie recipe. But let's get to your first question here, which is really important. How do you stop yourself from overeating? I believe I may have done a video on this in the past, but the real way you stop yourself from overeating is you have to have all of your food that you're going to eat for your one meal laid out in front of you, along with your drink, all of the condiments, everything you're going to have, it's laid out in front of you. You're not grazing, you're not eating beforehand. You have everything, the table is set, you're all done. When you sit down, everything is right in front of you. You eat your meal, and when you're done, you take that last bite, you take that last sip, you get up from the table and you walk away, you're done. That is how you do it. If you don't have everything laid out in front of you and you say, well, I'm just going to go and grab this, and then it becomes, well, I'm just going to have a little bit of that, or maybe I'll have an extra scoop of that. Next thing you know, you're packing on a whole bunch of extra calories, and you don't even feel how full you are, because it takes a good 20 to 30 minutes for you to get that feeling of fullness anyway. But if you have it all laid out in front of you and you see how much food you have, there's a good chance you're going to say, no, that's a little bit too much for me. Or even if you don't say that, if you try to eat it in one sitting, you're taking your time, you're enjoying everything, but you're eating it all at once, you may just not be able to do it. And that's where, that's where the beauty of OMAD comes in, because that's how you're cutting back, because you can only have so much. It's usually enough to provide a day's calories, 1,500. Sometimes you can do more if you're having, depending on what you're eating. But that's how you really stop yourself from overeating, is you don't keep grazing afterwards. So what you're saying here is, once your meal is over, you need to have your rice cakes, your digestive biscuits, and protein cake for whatever reason. I don't personally, I don't eat those, so they're not in my meal. But if you feel that those items need to be included in your meal, then they need to be on your OMAD plate. They need to be at the table that you're eating at when you have your meal. And you need to incorporate that into your OMAD for the day. You don't want to do it afterwards and wait, because the problem is you wait a little bit of time, and then you start moving around, the digestion process starts, you don't feel as full, and you find well, I could probably shove a little bit more in there, and you end up having more, as you write here in your note, that you end up having more and almost binging on it. And you could by doing that, you could easily have almost another meal's worth of calories by doing that, depending on what you're eating. So you ask, is it that I'm eating too many carbs? I don't think so. I don't know what I don't know what you're having for your daily meals. But I have days where I have a pretty high carb day, and that has nothing to do with it, as far as overeating. What works for me, and what I've found, and I know many others have too, is you just have to have everything laid out in front of you. You don't necessarily have to plan for weeks ahead of time what you're going to eat every single day. You can have some flexibility there, but whatever you're eating, it's laid out in front of you, and then that's it. And when you're done eating, you're done having your calorie-containing beverage, if that's what you choose, then you get up and you walk away. And from the rest of your time until your next meal, it's 0 calories. It's water, it's tea, it's coffee. That is how you do it. That's my best advice to you. Don't get too hung up about, oh, am I having too many carbs, or this or that. Focus on this part first. If you feel that you do a little bit of experimenting with what you're eating, if you feel that you operate much better over the long haul having a more ketogenic diet, by all means go for it. If you don't enjoy eating that way, if you're not noticing any results, then you don't have to. I don't do the ketogenic diet. I'm also not a vegan. I'm also not a strict carnivore. I have a varied diet, and many of the people here who watch this channel have a varied diet as well. That's why I still get comments from some people when I post food videos. It'll say, oh, well, I couldn't eat that because there's too many carbs, or there's bread and pasta, or there's, the whole point is I want you to get an idea of the size of my meals, how they look, etc. The rest is up to you, and the tweaking. Probably 85% of the people that'll come to this channel can eat whatever they want, such as I do, but follow the OMAD guidelines and be perfectly fine with it. And there's some people that it doesn't work for them. Maybe they try veganism, or maybe they try more of a keto carnivore approach, or somewhere in between. Don't get hung up on the food part itself. That it's the act of, you're sitting down, you're allowing yourself about an hour to eat, which is plenty of time to take your time. You have a nice full meal, you're mindful of your calories. Maybe you have something to drink that has calories in it as well with your meal, but you're being smart about it. And then you get up and you walk away. And you don't snack. You don't graze. And that is where you become miles ahead of everybody else. Because all of these diets nowadays, it's so trendy, because they can sell you more things to say, oh, well, don't forget your Atkins snacks, or don't forget you have to have plenty of vegan snacks, or whatever it is. Even the carnivores, they'll have their different, there's probably 100 different types of jerky out there, or cured meats and whatnot for them to have. The not snacking, the not grazing, the just sticking to your meal time, and then walking away and not having any caloric beverages. That's the magic of OMAD. That's how this works. So my advice to you would be is that if you need to have those 3 items in your diet, then they need to be on your plate. put them there first, and then kind of plan around it. You may find that you don't want to have them as part of your meal, or maybe not every day. I don't know. But that's how you're going to stop yourself from overeating. Have it all laid out in front of you ahead of time. When you're done, get up and walk away, and you're done, and stick to it. It takes a little bit of practice. I know it's hard, especially when that we're in this environment, and most of the people are in the Western world, where you have access to all kinds of different foods, sometimes almost 24 hours a day. And so that's where it's hard. First few weeks could be hard, but if you give it a chance and you stick to it and do it the way that I outline on this channel, and many other really great OMAD channels outline, you're going to have a lot of continued success with this. And I do promise that the cookie recipe will be coming very soon, along with the bread recipe and a whole bunch of other good content and videos. So I thank you guys, all of you. I'm very grateful for you for coming on this channel and giving me such great feedback, and being able to go on the journey with me, and me able to see your journey as well. So keep the stories, the success stories coming, keep the questions coming, and I always enjoy them. So that's it for me for today. Again, happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day. Go ahead, have fun today, celebrate, you deserve it, you earned it. Have a great week, very happy OMAD, and be well.